Hello, my name's Hannah O'Neill. Today's lesson is going to be over translations, specifically reflections of shapes. So first off, what is a reflection? A reflection in geometry is a type of transformation in which a shape or a geometric figure is mirrored across a line or a plane. It is also referred to as a flip. A reflection is a rigid transformation, which means that the size and the shape of the figure does not change. The figures are always congruent before and after the transformation. These are a couple examples of some reflections. Right here we have a reflection of this is an x-axis reflection. The mirrored line is the x-axis right here. This right here is an example of a y-axis reflection in which x equals -2, but this is going to be a y-axis reflection because it is parallel to the y-axis. There are three different types of reflections: an x-axis reflection, a y-axis reflection, and a y equals x reflection. In a x-axis reflection, the y coordinates are going to be changing. In a y-axis reflection, the x coordinates are changing. And in a y equals x reflection, the x and the y coordinates are going to be swapping. This is an example of an x-axis reflection. This is an example of a y-axis reflection. And an example of a y equals x reflection. There can also be a y equals -x reflection in which the line is going to be going this way, but in this one it is positive, so it is going to be going at a positive incline. So now that we know what reflections are, let's do a couple of examples together. Okay, we're going to do a y equals x reflection. I already drew my line of reflection. It's going to be a positive incline going this way. If this was y equals -x, then it would be going this direction. So we're going to begin by just flipping all of our y and x coordinates. And for example, we're going to be going over -2 up +1 to get 0.0. But to flip that, we're going to go over +2 and down -1 to get the negative reflection of that. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to do that with all of our points. We're going to make sure we label them properly. And we're going to draw the figure. And that is how we do a y equals x reflection. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a y-axis reflection. In a y-axis reflection, all of the points such that x, which was once xy, become -xy, or in the case that it is on the other side, your x is going to be flipping. The y is going to stay the same. So we're going to change all of our x coordinates to the negative, and then we're going to go ahead and reflect this across the y-axis that I highlighted already in black. Alright, so we are going to go ahead, I'm going to give you an example. We're going to go over +1, 2, and up to +1, 2. And we're just going to change the x from positive to negative. The y is going to stay the same, so the y is still going to be positive, the x is just going to be negative. So we're going to be over -2 and up to +2. It's going to be our first point. We're going to be over, here we have a +5. It's going to be a -5 over here, still a +2. The next point is a +5, +3, but we're going to be a -5, +3. The next one is +4, +3. We're going to be -4, +3. The next one is +4, +5. This one's going to be -4, +5. Next one is going to be positive 2, positive 5. This one is going to be negative 2, positive 5. And then we're just going to make sure all of our points match accordingly. We're going to write our points in there. We're going to draw our figure. And then we have a reflection over the y-axis. Alright, the last one that we're going to do is an x-axis reflection. And in an x-axis reflection, all of the y points are actually going to be changing. So in this case, we've got positive y's. These are going to change to negative y's in an x-axis reflection. So we're going to do this together. We've got a positive 1 and a positive 2. The x is going to stay the same at positive 1, but it's going to go down to negative 2 on y. We're going to go over positive 4 and up positive 1. X is going to stay at positive 4, y is going to go down. We're going to go over to positive 5, up positive 3. Positive 5 is going to stay the same for x. We're going to go down to negative 3 for y. And positive 2, positive 4, positive 2 is going to stay the same for x. We're going to go down to negative 4 for y. And then we're just going to make sure those points are as they are according. And we're just going to connect and draw the figure. Oops. There we are. And there we have our reflection over the x-axis. And lastly, just a couple things to keep in mind. Like I said during the the y equals x reflections, if we have got a y equals positive x, the reflection line is going to go this way. And on the other hand, if we have a y equals negative x, that line of reflection is going to go this way. So just keep that in mind. Also, concerning the y and the x reflections, if you ever have something telling you to reflect across the line, for example, x equals 3, your line of reflection is going to be on x equals 3. That means you're going to go over to x equals positive 3 right here, and that is going to be on the y-axis. That is going to be where you're reflecting, is on this y-axis, because we're doing it right here on x equals positive 3. So there's this example for you real quick. So that's and then similarly, if you have a question that's saying reflect across the line y equals negative 2, you're obviously going to go down to negative 2, and that is going to be where your line of reflection is. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. These are actually x-axis reflections, and the ones that start with these are y-axis reflections. So just a couple of things to keep in mind when you're doing the worksheet. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to contact me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.